All right, guys, just wanted to do a quick video for other Sea-Doo Spark owners that might be out there.Maybe this will help them. I had a little issue with my Spark here that I had to bring back home and put in my garage. I bought two of these Spark Trixx 3-ups about 4 months ago. I just stumbled across these because I ordered some Yamahas and Yamaha screwed me over. So I ended up getting a good deal on two of these that were still in the crate. Picked them up. I didn't think, I really was going to stay away from these things because I heard bad things about them. But man, we are loving these things. I am so glad I ended up with these. But anyways, I got a little issue with it. So both of these, I only have one, obviously. The other one's still at my boathouse. I had to bring this one all the way back home. This one had a little issue with on Sunday. It's got about 9 hours on it. Both of them have 9 hours on it. And it's having a big party this weekend. And it was coming to the end of the day. And we were horsing around, messing around where my boat dock is. And my brother-in-law was riding this thing and it just cut off. And it was a crank, no start. Okay, it was just crank. It would not start and try to even sound like it was gonna fire over. So luckily, it was close to the boat dock. It was the end of the day, so we just kind of pushed it over. If I had been, it was a little disappointing that it's brand new, only has 9 hours on it. And it's already a crank no start, but luckily it didn't happen like 2 miles away from my house where I live or anything like that. I wasn't super far away, and I wasn't by myself, thank goodness. So yes, it is disappointing, but it is what it is. It's a new machine. I figured it had to be something simple, so I figured I was going to take a look at it and see what's going on. I'm going to show you this, like I said in the beginning. I'm going to show you this, what I found, and hopefully this is going to help somebody else if they have a problem in the future with one of these Spark Trixx. So let me take a walk over here. What I did was I'm going to try to show you this the best as possible. So I took the cap off where the oil dipstick is, okay, and hopefully I can show you this. Let's see. All right, hold on one second. Okay, this is better. All right, so it's gonna be hard to see this, or maybe you can see it pretty clearly. You look down in here, there's two hose clamps. There's one hose clamp right here, and this video is gonna get a little fuzzy because of this screwdriver poking in here. There's one here, a clamp, and then there's one clamp. It's hard to see, but there's this is the water box right here. You can see this clamp right here. This is the exhaust clamp, and it belongs up here, obviously, on this rubber. This clamp blew off, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to take the top completely off. What I'm going to do, I think, and I'll show you, is I'm going to take a lot of the screws out here, and I'm going to try to go maybe up to here, possibly here. I'm going to see how it goes as I take some off. I'm going to take as little off as possible and see how much I can lift it up just to get my hands in there enough to put a new clamp on there. And when I come back, I'm not going to show you, there's videos on YouTube how to take these tops off. Like I say, I'm not taking the whole top off. I'm going to lift it up a little bit as much as I can, and then sneak my hand in there, and I'm going to put a new clamp on there, and then when this video comes back, this top will be partially up, and I'll show you what we're looking at, get a better look at it. All right, so here I am. My original plan didn't work out. I ended up having to take all the bolts out because this thing is so rigid, it would not just flex up. I took the gas tank bolts out, but I did not take these bolts out here with the steering linkage. I didn't mess with steering linkage or connectors or anything like that. So here's what I got. You can see this. All right, here's my clamp. It's broken. I'll pull that off. There There it is, broken clamp. So, if you can see this, this exhaust is pushed back, like it blew it back. So I was looking over here. I thought there was something, this water box was supposed to be bolted down, but it just sits on a little rubber piece right there and slides down. So this has to get pushed back because when the exhaust blew it, it blew it off. Sorry, give you a better picture. There we go. That's better. So this is the edge of the exhaust. It's not even up into the, this should be up into the hose. And that is not bolted down. It just sits on there. It's a little rubber. So really the clamp is the only thing holding this thing on. So I was looking at this, it's all wobbly. So I just pushed it back up in there. And then I guess I'm gonna get my clamp. I'm gonna get a new clamp and clamp it down. And that's gonna be that. And then I'll see if it starts. All right, guys, I just got back from the store picking up some clamps. First thing I want to say is I just want to apologize all the sniffling I've been doing. I just got cut in the grass a little while ago, and this is tearing my ass up. All this windy today, all the grass blowing around. So anyways, I do apologize for that. So, all right, so I went to get some clamps. Just show you this really quick. So this is the old clamp. And it is, I don't know if you can see this, but that is an SAE 412 clamp. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, I tried my local like O'Reilly's and Advanced Auto Parts and all that stuff. Nobody had these clamps, but I do have a Napa store, a warehouse down the road from me that had about 250 of these, they said. So I did not get these from Seadoo. I did not order them online. I just ran down there and I actually got 4 of them. So here it is. This is also a number 412 clamp. You can see the one on the left is the broken one. The one on the right is the new one. This is a high torque stainless steel clamp. It is also a number 412. You don't want to use the cheap carbon ones. Just do not use those because they don't tighten right. And these do have a torque spec. Okay, the torque spec on these is 37 inch-pounds to 45 inch-pounds. And yes, I am going to torque it on there because that's just the way I am. And that's how I do things. A couple things I'd like to point out also while I'm doing this, or before I do this. As far as changing spark plugs and everything in this, I see a lot of people, they completely remove this top. You don't need to do that. You see, I just had this bucket, my kids had a bucket of shells, I just put it right there. This will actually go up higher. This top will go up higher. But if you look in here, I mean, if you can see, I mean, you can see perfectly all of these spark plugs. You can get to every one of them. You could even do an oil change if you want. I don't take the top off to do the oil change, but this is all you need to do if you're going to change spark plugs or do any service on this engine. You don't need to remove, you don't need to mess with any of your steering, any of your harnesses, nothing. You just take off all these bolts on both sides, all the top, and just lift it up. And like I say, this will come up more. Okay, so I've actually already installed this clamp. So here it is. I was going to change both of them, but I checked the one on the left and it is in good condition. I do not know why it failed. I don't know if it was a bad batch of clamps. I don't know if somebody over tightened it at the factory. I don't know the reason, but the one on the left appears to be good to me, and the one on the right is the one I just replaced, and it is torqued to 45 inch-pounds. Now, I just want to point out, I would have taken this to the dealer for the warranty, but I am very particular about my things, and I know that when I take this to the dealer for the warranty, some Yahoo mechanic is going to come blast all these screws out of there with a impact gun, okay? And when he goes to put them back on, he's just going to blast them back in there and probably strip half of them out, leave half the washers off, and you know, it's just going to be totally destroyed. It's going to look like somebody's been in here and somebody's messed with it and just screwed everything up. Okay, let me tell you something. I've been an auto technician for 30 years at the same place, okay, and I've seen guys come in there, you wouldn't believe the things I see. Okay, these mechanics that come in and say they know how to work on cars, they'll come in and work for 3 months. They'll screw up 200 cars, okay, and they'll strip bolts, leave bolts out, put bolts back in the wrong damn spot, and it just pisses me off. And I see it time and time again. And then they get fired, you know, within 4 or 5 months, they get fired, okay? And then they just go to somewhere else and they screw up another 200 cars, okay? The things I've seen, it makes me not want to take my vehicles anywhere. There is great mechanics out there, but there's some that don't give a damn about anything, okay? So I like my stuff perfect. I like it right. When I work on people's cars, everything gets torqued down, everything gets done perfect. I know when I go into something and I come back out, everything is the way it's supposed to be, okay? Like I say, there's a lot of good techs out there. I'm not getting on anybody's asses, but I'm just saying there are guys out there that are just destroying things, okay? So as far as this goes, when I put this top back down, these bolts right here on the side get torqued to 31 inch-pounds, okay? When I torque these down, I'm going to start in the middle on this one. I'm not going to torque it down completely. I'll probably go to like 28 or something like that, 25, 28, and I'll go to the other side, do the other middle one. I'll come back, I'll do this one, and then I'll go to this one, and then I'll go to this one, and then I'll go to this one. Same thing on the other side. And then when I do my final torque, 31, I will go again, center, this one, back to this one, back to this one, a torque pattern, okay? Just like you're torquing heads on a car, okay? Just do the torque pattern. I know it might sound ridiculous to a lot of people. They might just blast them down, but that's just not the way I do things, okay? So when you get to the outside screws, all these, okay, all these screws, the Torx heads, they get torqued to 49 inch-pounds, okay? So now that I've got this off and I got that out of the way, I'm going to just put this back on, and then we're going to see if it starts, okay? So let me get done all that, because it's going to take me a few minutes to do this properly, unlike anybody else would do. And I'm just going to do it the right way, take as much time as it takes, and it's going to be right. And then I will fire it up and we will see if it works. So just give me 1 minute and we'll get right back to it. All right, guys, I got everything bolted back down. I'm going to hop on here, and this is the moment of truth. Here we go. Show you how many hours are in this thing at the same time. Let's see. All right, we got 10 hours. This happened at 10 hours. Let's see if this thing cranks and starts. All right. That is a fix, gentlemen. What I would say, I didn't hook the hose to this thing. I would say don't run this thing out of, some people tell you 30 seconds to run this thing with no water, but I would even go only 15 to 20 seconds. Just that little bit that I did, and that's it. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your carbon seal. All right, so that's a fix. Any questions, comments, just put them in the comment section, and I'll try to answer what I can. Hope this helps somebody. Have a good one, man.